welcome back to another episode of Three Dads and a Console. Not every dad can stay up to date with the latest and greatest in video game news that you need to know about, so we're here to do it for you. Remember, our show is kid-friendly, so no earmuffs are needed. Now let's get on with the show. I am Waba Plays alongside Court is back with us today. Hello, Court.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, you want to hear something crazy?
I love crazy.
I played a game that wasn't the game that I'm always playing. Actually, I played 2 games. I even played a game today with my daughter after dinner that's not that game.
Big market.
Because I promised I won't say the name of the game that I've been playing for forever. Because I told Waba I wouldn't talk about it anymore. So I'm technically not talking about it if I don't say the name of the game.
Dude, it's not like Voldemort. You don't have to say the game which must not be named.
But if I talk about it, then I'll get into a whole thing. Like Gabe has a whole rundown on what I'm gonna do about Friday, and he was like, "Oh my god."
So there is a new program being released Friday, and Court has his own program that he's releasing on Friday.
But it makes
Called the
sense. I
Court
told
program.
Pez my strategy, and I'm gonna have I'll have the program half finished in like 3 hours.
Solid strats, I will say. Solid strats.
Optimization. That other sultry voice you hear is Pez. Hello, Pez.
Hello, gents. How we doing? What's crack?
What's crack?
Yeah, what's the crack?
Pez, our kids played soccer
is.
this weekend. My kid scored her first goal in soccer.
Dude, we played so much freaking soccer this weekend. It was out of control.
What do you mean we? Did you hop on the field to get
No,
tagged?
I'm the head coach, dude.
Oh, that's right. Were you like Will Ferrell in that movie?
Kicking and screaming? No, I would.
Tell them to pass it to the Italian player?
No.
Oh.
But we had
the movies we watched growing up are really bad, eh?
Dude, yeah.
I watched it recently. What is it? The famous football... Isn't Terry Bradshaw in that movie? No, Mike Ditka.
I don't know. I've seen that movie once.
Okay, well,
And
sorry.
It wasn't.
You should be.
Sorry, you're not up on the lore. That's fine. So what happened as the victorious coach? Victorious, right?
Nope.
No, we lost.
I literally was I sent him a message like Emma scored his first goal, and we're like, we just lost.
It was rough. It was rough, but you know what? We lost. We lost our first game 3-2. We lost our second game 1-0, and we got killed in our third game.
Winnings for losers, I hear though, right?
No,
Yeah,
my daughter's team won.
Yeah,
Pez was happy for her though. He was happy for her.
Of course I was.
I'm
glad.
It was just funny. I was very happy that my daughter scored, so I had to message him because I know he's into soccer. And he's like, "We literally just lost, dude."
Did she celebrate when she scored?
Yes.
Like one of the ones you see in like the MLB.
No, but she went down injured a couple times, so she's definitely Italian.
No, she's flopping. She's out here flopping.
Well, she is Italian, so like.
And then as soon as they pull the yellow card, she gets right back up.
I want to preface this. Like, I'm not like calling out Italians. My wife is Italian, and my daughter is definitely sticking to her heritage, falling down injured.
I almost did an Italian accent with your last name, which is French.
Don't
Some guys in his car listening to Court rip on Italians.
Hey, Waba,
he's like,
the next
"Hey,
time you do that, I will tell everybody your real name.
It's I am vengeance.
That's better. God.
I'll take that any day over the whatever Italian accent that was. It was wow.
Like I said, third best Italian. So we have a few topics to go through today, and the first has to do with that big market tease Court alluded to, that you played a game recently with your goal scoring daughter.
Yes. So our friends over at Outright Games. Seriously, they are our best friends. They provided me with a code on the Nintendo Switch, my daughter's favorite new console. I can't believe I could say that. It's just, she loves the darn thing. I even taught her about handheld mode for this game, and now I will never. It's over. So they provided me a copy of My Little Pony: Adventures at Maretime Bay. She finished the game, and I'm not even kidding you. She played it for 3 hours straight. She did not want to put the game down. She hasn't been like this with a game since Spirit, Lucky's Big Adventure. She really enjoyed that game. She still goes back. She said to me that this takes it. Like, she won't need to go back. This is her new replay game. She the next day we had soccer and such, and we ended up playing it again, and she finished the game. She actually finished the game. And the reason why I think she did is because, once again, our friends over at Outright, they put things in games that they make it so it's gives kids confidence, but also at the same time lets them learn how to play a game. Like it doesn't hold their hand, but it's easier for them to grasp. So your character has to follow a little yellow butterfly around. And I didn't even have to tell her that because, first off, there's voice acting in it, so they're explaining to you what you need to do. So she was just always following that, and then she was able to go to each mini game and then do each task. She was having there's a task where you herd these little bunnies. She was having a difficult with that, but she does figure it out. She loved the fact that your character can change its costumes.
Yep.
Like, she thinks that's the greatest thing ever. So what you're able to do is the character you're using is you go around and collect stars as you're doing your mini games and such. You're also collecting stars. With those stars, you're able to purchase different color hair, or even a unicorn, a horn, or sunglasses, or a hat. You're able to purchase all these things to change your character's look. You're also given rollerblades, which your character does wear a helmet, so safety first. So you're able to go around the levels a lot easier, but there are some traversals. It is open world. And then they have so it is open world. You're able to go through. So once you finish, you're able to go back into the open world in Maritime Bay, and you're able to go to the beach. You're able to go to the market. You're able to go all these different sections, and then there would be different mini games which you can complete. And then there's also a dancing mini game, a rhythm one that she loves so much. Like, over and over again, she just plays it over and over. And then there is a level where you're also flying and you're going through the rings, which teaches her a little bit of better twitch control. She doesn't realize she's learning how to not get hit by these balloons.
Mm-hmm.
So she's becoming better at her reflexes. I think she is. I find there was a lot of learning. It's not like their Paw Patrol games where they're making you solve puzzles, but at the same time she's grasping different concepts. So, like, because she's played a lot of their games, she finished the Ryan game, she's finished all the Paw Patrol games. This was probably the very first game that we put in that I really didn't need to have to tell her. She literally just hopped in, started playing, and just followed along, and she went through, and she was able to just complete it, which was kind of refreshing. Like, as a parent and as a gamer myself, this was the first game where I didn't have to go, oh, you need to go do this. Or if she handed me the controller, Daddy, can you do this for me? She just did it, and she finished the game. I don't know. It was a very it was pretty awesome. She truly, truly, truly enjoys the game. She's come home almost every day after school, and she just wants to. I let her play for half an hour. So she's allowed a half an hour when she comes home from school just to have some fun, either watch her iPad or whatever, just to decompress from school. And she's wanted to play this game every day. So as a parent, I would recommend this game. If you have a daughter and they're into My Little Pony, I couldn't recommend it more. Go out and we played it on Switch. She surely enjoyed it, and it's on Switch. I can say the load times are not that bad.
Mhm.
I have noticed with Switch games compared to playing games on an Xbox or a PlayStation, load times are back. I totally forgot about load times playing on next gen consoles, but
Mhm.
the load times aren't bad at all. It's not noticeable. It's not like it's bothering my daughter in any way, shape, or form. And there is a lot of replayability on this game. There's a ton of variety in the mini games, and it's very well done. Yes, she finished it quickly, but that's because she really enjoyed it and she just didn't want to put it down.
How's it look visually? Because I looked at some like the trailer and things like that, like compared to like PJ Masks, and
It
like
looks
it looks much different.
It's the most polished game I think they've put out in the last 2 years. My daughter really enjoyed and still will play Spirit's Lucky's Big Adventure, but that was one of the games where I felt my daughter thought it was the best game, but I thought, well, first of all, I had to read everything to her. The voice acting wasn't there. It was very buggy, and that had a lot. I'm sure had a lot to do with COVID. This game is zero bugs. I have found nothing wrong with the traversal's great. It's very well done and it's very bright. It looks very good. Like, I'll give it to them. It looks like I would compare it graphically and gameplay to like something like Super Lucky's Tale on the Xbox, on how smooth and everything works so well. It's very polished. This game is done very well.
Wow. All right. The big question: what pony do you play as?
Honestly, I don't know. My daughter would know. I'm not gonna lie to you. She's pink. Uh, uh,
Pinkie Pie, I think her
this was
name is.
this. I this is my first one where I didn't have to. Like I said, I didn't have to hold her hand. She didn't want to let me play. She
Oh,
how
just
are
really?
you not
played the
up on
game. So this
the
everything I'm telling you is from
lore?
me watching her, and then this morning the other day I asked her and I said, what if you could out of 5, what would you give it? And she said 10. I said, okay, fair enough. I said, out of all the games that you played on the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch, and she really likes Wii Sports, by the way. She likes the Chambra thing. She loves the swords. She says this is her favorite game by far.
Wow.
Not even a little bit. Her Spirits Lucky's Big Adventure was her favorite game. This just took it. That's huge.
Yeah,
It's
that
huge.
is huge. Holy smokes!
Outright continuing to outdo yourselves, and yeah, Court. That's really good to hear. Not only that she likes it, but she's like that's her jam right now. So
Oh, dude, she plays this over Pokemon.
Court, let me ask you: do you think that this is Outright's best full package of a game so far?
Yes. From what I could see, this is well worth the money, and it is. And sorry, and I didn't spend it, but I'm saying if you were about to buy this game, you wouldn't feel like you're like, my kids like fell off. You get your money's worth out of this game. It's very polished. It's the most polished game I've played from them. Like I said, there's 0 bugs. Even when I played uh like some of the Paw Patrol games and even, PJ Masks, there's stuff that I noticed that my daughter doesn't. I didn't find anything in this game
Mhm.
at all.
Wow.
Now, Court, I know you mentioned overtaking Pokemon. That
Yes.
leads us to our next topic of the new Pokemon announced was more information on Scarlet and Violet. I know there's this good segue. Pez, I know
Yes.
you're looking forward to the Pokemons.
Yeah. I mean, I
Tell
think
us
it's
about it.
gonna be. So they're touting it as the first ever open world Pokemon game, which means you don't have to follow the linear story from point A to point Z. And while Legends Arceus, I can never say that. While Legends Arceus is open world in terms of like you can go here and not necessarily have to do the story right away, you needed to follow the story beats to get from A to Z. It's ninth generation, so there's a bunch of new Pokemon, there's a bunch of new legends, and for the first time ever, there will be 4-person co-op in a Pokemon game. But I don't know if that means like the 3 of us log in and we play together and we like do battles together in gyms or stuff, or if it's like the 3 of us log in and then we all play our separate game, but we're on like the same server if we wanted to meet up
Mhm.
and trade and all that stuff. So they haven't mentioned anything about that. But I'm excited to play it. I don't know yet. I don't know enough about it to know if it's a day one purchase for me, especially when you look at the holiday season and like what's been announced and what's coming out. Obviously you need to prioritize your wallet, especially as a parent who will probably be buying games for their little ones. Hopefully it is My Little Pony Adventure at Mare Bay. You know what I mean?
Maritime Bay.
Maritime.
Maritime Bay. Sorry.
It's a horse pun.
It
And
really is.
Get it?
100% because they
Maritime,
even
not
spell it
maritime.
mare. They spell it Mare. Yeah.
They get us as dads saying who's buying
they
it.
do. They got us. They got us. But I think it's a big deal because it is a new generation. It's the first again open world like Pokemon game. The questions I have is since we've gone away from this is more the Pokemon game style of like you're a trainer and you have your professor who is your mentor and like you battle gyms, like is that if that's all it is, then maybe their improvements aren't as great as we would have led to believe based on the
Mhm.
trailer. So Am I excited for it? Yeah, of course. I'm excited for it. Is it going to be a day one purchase? Probably not. But I will play it at some point, and we'll see how it goes. What about you guys? I know, Court, you're not a Pokemon guy.
My daughter will play it. I'll buy it. Sorry. That's where I'll go with it.
Which version? Will you buy Violet so she can play as a female?
I'll let her choose. She's an
trainer.
Eevee girl. She chose Eevee
Gotcha.
over Pikachu.
Good girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
fair.
know. Look at you. She's able to catch her Pikachu in the Eevee game. She was okay, but she wanted Eevee on the cover. She has an Eevee stuffy. She likes Eevee the most.
That's fair.
It is what it is. So I would probably straight up how she works. She's big into Squishmallows and stuff like that right now. Squishmallows, or I think they're called.
I love
Yeah.
Squishmallows. People are going to be asking that same question to adults and to themselves. Which one do you find cuter? But instead of talking about the Pokemon, they're going to be talking about the professors. I don't know what it is, but this game's growing up. And we used to, and back in my day, we had Professor Oak. All right, he was a nice grandfatherly figure. Now you have these character models that it's let me tell you, it's very different from Professor Oak.
Older one looks like me, you said?
No, I said he had the same haircut as you. His name's Professor Turo, which is Japanese for court, actually.
Seriously?
No, I don't.
It's like that.
But the game looks cool. I don't know all the Pokemon like now, so like it's like, oh, like I don't feel as much nostalgia. But I was watching the trailer and I saw Gengar and I was like, my dude, that's my guy. It looks great. I think it's a really interesting take. When I saw Arceus gameplay, it was like, oh my gosh, like it's weird to see things like that. But now that it's going to be like, bring back like the turn-based, I think you're going to have a lot of people who like the new ones and a lot of people like the old ones like me. And it's like, I feel like they're really just understanding what people want. It's weird to see that. I feel like the longer a game series goes on, sometimes they like lose the plot and they kind of stray away. But I feel like
great.
no names.
I just named it right there. I just name dropped.
Fair.
Hey, by the way, Assassin's Creed Odyssey Origins, it is on Game Pass, 60 frames per second, 4K. Download it.
Dope.
Jeez.
But yeah, I mean, it visually looks good, and the cutscenes towards the end. I mean, obviously, well, it says not actual game footage in it, but can the Switch actually show those? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Here, I have a question for you. You have your Nintendo Switch. You can either get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge or this Pokemon game. Look what I just did there.
I will say the next game I'm going to buy on the Switch is Advance Wars Remastered. That is maybe the next only day one purchase, and that was delayed because of current events, which I respect. So
no Mario Battle Strikers for you.
Oh, I forgot that's coming out this summer. Crap!
It's coming out next Friday.
Next Friday,
June 10th, baby.
Oh God. Oh my gosh, I have so many decisions to make.
Mario Strikers is not on my list of things that I need to care about.
I don't like soccer, but I like dunking on people with the boy Mario. So.
Oh, you would pick Mario. Jeez Louise.
What? He's the boy.
What, dude?
Who do you pick?
Peach.
No, I'm a Luigi man.
Oh, okay. Luigi's a contrarian. Luigi's a person that's too good for Mario.
You leave Luigi alone.
Oh, I'm okay. Yeah, Luigi's a player too, man. Luigi's a player too. He gets the third-party controller when you go over your friend's house, the one with all the Cheeto dust in it, because it doesn't get cleaned, because it doesn't get respected. Just like Luigi.
Luigi, listen.
He isn't even licensed in Massachusetts to be a plumber. All right, how do you feel about that?
Listen, I don't need a plumber. I need a center back defenseman.
Just like we said with Court, you just got to pass it to the Italian.
I just need stubs. Give me some stubs.
Oh
right.
Gosh.
Good callbacks, you guys. What's our next topic? Oh, well, Court mentioned a really good game that's coming out on a Games Pass. But the opposite company that isn't putting out good things for PlayStation Plus, they are having a state of play, tomorrow, 6/2 at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Other time zones don't matter. During it, they are going to be talking about only third-player games and Sony VR titles, one of which is known, and that is a Horizon. I don't know if it's a game or an experience.
It looks more like a mini game, but I think they're going to be doing a lot of these. Here's my guess: we are going to be getting VR mini games for all of their first party titles. I have a funny feeling this is going to be the I didn't buy PSVR 1. From what I've seen and what is the rumor that a certain Half-Life game will be available on PSVR 2.
Let's go.
I got to get it. Yeah, if Half-Life Alyx is available and you can play it on PSVR 2, I think it's a no-brainer for me. That game looks amazing. I'm really hoping other experiences that were on the original PSVR, like the Iron Man and Batman, which I never got to play. I need to be Batman. You know what I mean? I hope those work and I can play those. But looking at Horizon looked amazing. There is a rumored Killzone game.
Oh,
in
please,
VR.
yes. Oh my gosh, I miss Killzone so much.
I just, you look at the possibilities that PlayStation can do. Imagine they could just let you be God of War and you could just walk around as Kratos and throwing the Leviathan. Like, really? Like, how cool would that be? Right? You're just throwing it and it's coming back and they're just doing the little experience of just like you doing anything in these games of their first parties and just doing this little thing. Like the Horizon one is just walking through, right? It looks unbelievable. You're walking by a tall neck. It looks very cool. They could do a lot. Like Ghost of Tsushima, where if you could just ride around the horse pez and you could just go through the fields, like you'd lose your mind.
Be great.
And I think this is they're onto something. I think it looks great. There's a lot of rumored some big things coming for this PSVR 2. So this state of play that we're about to see tomorrow is 30 minutes. It is only PSVR 2 and third party. Shuhei Yoshida even replied, was like, please do not get your hopes up on any first, like it's only third party and PSVR 2 games. They showed off the trailer for Horizon, so Horizon won't be there. So what are they going to show us? I don't know. Maybe Half-Life Alyx. If they show us Half-Life Alyx and say that that's on PSVR 2, I'm pretty sure that sells the headset.
Yep.
Unless you've already played it on your computer. But when it's a third-party game, my friend Ryan Turford has got it in my head and I can't get it out. It's Final Fantasy. It's Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
Or it's another Persona game. You tell me. It's third party. This is PlayStation.
If it's Atlas, check the Twitter. If you see an inkling of Persona,
well, think about it.
I'm going nuts.
If it's a third party game, I'm going to say it's a Japanese studio. Because otherwise you have Summer Game Fest coming up. So any North American studio would show up there.
Yeah,
they've already done the Hogwarts Legacy already had its own state of play. Forspoken had its own state of play. So you would think if it's third party, it would be either Atlas or Square Enix. That's my guess.
Both of whom are already at Summer Games Fest, so I think that they have different titles geared to a Western and a Asian market. So I'd be very excited.
As you guys are both Final Fantasy fans, am I incorrect in saying that they said that they would have? Oh, sorry, Waba is a Final Fantasy fan. They did say that Final Fantasy VII, the next part, the trailer would be coming. We haven't seen it. No, they said it would come this summer. Summer just started. PlayStation's doing a state of play.
It's summer. I'm really excited about that because I know we hear a lot about the first parties, but it's like, what else is coming? And if we could get a big announcement, like, it doesn't have to be just for Sony, but it's if it's broadcast on a Sony console, I think that's a huge win. Just because I feel like all the news have been Microsoft, so I'm excited. I'm hopeful.
I do wonder if we'll see like more Gotham Knights, right? Because what we saw was 13 minutes of Red Hood and Nightwing. So I wonder if we'll see some Batgirl and Robin. I don't know, man. My initial inkling was we were gonna see something from Final Fantasy. I feel like that's almost a given based on what they, that Shuhei came out and he was like, yeah, don't expect any first party stuff, which is good because I was already sick of, maybe God of War's going to get shadow dropped tomorrow. It's like, dude, shut up. That's not going to happen. Twitter is a cesspool when it comes to video game takes. Unless it's at twitter.com/3dadspod.
Hold on.
Oh,
It is a
just keep-
cesspool when it comes to anything. Like the takes right now on the Star Wars Obi-Wan thing is just gross. Like the fact that they're first the racist takes, the actresses, they hate her out of nowhere. They hate no one else. The only two characters they hate in this Obi-Wan series are a little girl and a black actress. Like, sorry, what? First off, Princess Leia is a strong female. And the other young lady, I don't know what her name is. Sorry, but like her character right now is fire. She's awesome.
people be
Sorry.
ignorant
The
when it comes to I don't know living in the I don't know. It's like they're I don't know. I have a lot of opinions on that. Let people create a good story and get people that are good for the role, and they've got people who are good. I don't know.
I
Diaper
also
babies.
have a lot of opinions on it, and you know what? I'm going to share them right now.
Let's do it.
I think the issue is when most people have seen most people that I think are being these kind of this way. Most of them when they watched Star Wars, they were young, they were children probably. Maybe they were 10, right? Maybe they hit double digits, maybe they didn't. But now it's like Star Wars is a huge deal. But honestly, I think that they're just like, oh, the thing I loved growing up, maybe I don't like as much anymore. And they're not able to let that go. And that's why they're being human trash bags.
It's ironic because the Empire in the first 3 films was made up completely of humans. They did not use anybody. There was nobody who was not human on there. They used, bounty hunters and stuff like that. And now that we've kind of gone in the future, you have, alien races like helping the Empire. So if the Empire can be more inclusive and you can't, you are evil and you're the thing that you hate. So get wrecked, diaper babies on Twitter. You're worse than the Empire. Get wrecked.
Hold on, can we just back up the truck to Waba having a good analogy?
It was a great analogy, wasn't it?
Honestly, it was Waba. Well done.
Well done.
I like Star Wars, man. I told him we watched episode 1 yesterday, and I'm like, oh, it's
Well, how about
interesting because
this?
like 2 of the Inquisitors are aliens,
Hey,
and I'm
how
like,
about-
that's not a thing for the
when
Empire.
this is all
around
over, when the Obi-Wan series is over, let's do a review. I'm thinking it's great so far. Like, it has made me want to watch the prequels.
there. I don't hate the prequels.
No, I never said I hate it.
Can I tell you why the prequels have a very soft spot in my heart? So I was like,
Did I just derail us?
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
It's Star Wars.
It's okay. Now this is
I used
pod
to play
racing.
with the Legos on my I had all the Star Wars Legos, and I would just play with them all the time. I watched the prequel while it was still in theaters in my house because for whatever reason someone filmed it, like actually filmed it. The statute of limitations is up, so I would just rewatch episode 1 over and over and over, and I just loved it. Still hated Jar Jar, but they're not like okay, like some of the stuff
Jar
might be
Jar
better. The plot
is
points.
God.
yeah, if you follow the is he a Sith Lord take. But like it's so interesting how they took a very much loved thing and built upon that like in a prequel. And like this, I think this core story is very good. Some of the writing might not be, that's what I call pod racing, whatever. Like, whatever. But and anything having to do with Watto. But I just think the Trade Federation is like really interesting and like the rise to power for Palpatine and stuff like that. Oh, spoilers also too for 30-year-old movie Get Wrecked. But yeah. I don't mind the prequels. I thought
the fire today, eh?
But like
the
you
Trade
want,
Federation was cool. The design are cool.
but like you want to know how toxic that fan base is. The guy that played little Anakin never acted ever again because people were
Look at
so
Christian
awful to
Hayden
him.
Christensen.
Yeah, and now
he almost quit acting because of it.
and now everyone's like, oh, he was actually really good at Darth Vader. It's like you morons don't know what you want.
Yeah.
Shut up and watch this
I look
movie.
at it this way, Pez. You and I were of an age where we had a time where there was nothing, and then we got the prequels. There was no TV shows besides the Christmas special.
Nope.
There was the Ewoks cartoon. There was the Star Wars cards. There wasn't much. We didn't get much, and then we got the prequels. Maybe it's our generation where we didn't always have everything we wanted. There wasn't the internet growing up, so we couldn't just get the information we wanted. We couldn't just the thing we really like. We couldn't just have it. Unless someone made it, it didn't exist. Like we got G.I. Joes and Transformers, but that was only like 4 years, and then they were gone.
Yep.
Like they killed Optimus in a movie, and we cried because it sucked.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
So when stuff like this comes out, I'm just like, all right, I just find the goodness of it, and I'm just like, well, at least I'm getting Star Wars stuff. Like I am not the biggest Marvel fan. I like the movies, but like I'm not the biggest Marvel guy. I never was. I'm a DC guy. So like I always find, oh, I'll watch the DC content. I watch the Marvel movies. I don't go out and be like, this sucks. This sucks. It doesn't make any sense to me, because when you start doing that, they'll stop making it. And then you know what you're going to do? You're going to complain that you don't have it.
Right.
It's like the Hartford Whalers. Go see the games or else you get relocated. Don't cry about it when they're gone.
Yeah,
I
like
wonder-
don't whine like babies, man. Stop being a bunch of babies.
I do wonder if it is partly I'm gonna use Star Wars as the whipping boy because I particularly don't like that franchise. But I wonder if there's also an oversaturation now of Star Wars, and that is what makes people feel entitled to that their opinion about something is valid, right?
But here's the thing: it's all good. It's like they have like there might be some episodes that falter, but on the whole, I've seen like very positive reception of like these characters and things like that.
Well, I don't understand how you can be a fan of something and hate it and seem like you hate it so much unless you're a sports fan. Because really.
Yeah, unless you're a Boston fan. Oh, by the way, I'm rooting for the Celtics this week. Let's go. Didn't before tomorrow.
Thanks for showing up, Waba. We appreciate it. Us Celtics fans appreciate it.
I watched 1/4 of the last game, and it wasn't even the last one. But yeah, I'll be watching them in the background. But yeah, it's okay not to like everything from something. I mean, hell, people, like the three of us, like we all have our franchises we like. Like I love Persona. I don't love Persona 3. Fine.
Right.
I'm not going on Twitter and demanding that everybody resigns who was part of that game. You just try the next thing out, and if you like it, good. And if you don't want to try it out, don't unsubscribe from Disney Plus, or watch it or don't watch it. I don't understand why there's no like middle ground. It's if I don't like something, no one can. It's wrong. It's dumb.
It's like these sports not sports.
Absolutes.
It's like these gaming journalist yahoos that have to tweet out that they're not supporting Game Pass, that they unsubscribe from Game Pass. No one cares.
I feel like that's when I put out that go touch grass thing from our Twitter account, because I was like, why do people have to like, hey, it's I don't like this or I don't like that. I don't care. Why do you think I care? Do you think I care?
Well,
why do I care?
I think there is a vein of false importance, right?
Yep.
When you're on Twitter, because it's like, oh, I write for IGN, right? Oh, look at me, I write for IGN. I write for Kotaku. Someone cares if I don't like Game Pass because there's no AAA games. No one cares, dude. Shut up. But that's the worst thing. I think that is the thing that bothers me the most. If you don't like a game, if you don't like Game Pass, then unsubscribe from it and move on.
Don't play it.
But to be like, oh, Game Pass isn't valuable anymore, I'm gonna unsubscribe and tweet it out to your like whatever 2,000 followers, like, what's the point? Unless you're there to just sow discourse among gamers.
That's
so
the only reason. What
they'll
other
check out
reason would there
your
be?
impressions, right? So now your social media impressions go up, because Xbox isn't gonna see it and be like, oh my god, Billy son of a gun over at Kotaku, we gotta put out Forza 6 because he doesn't like Game Pass. Like, no one cares, dude. Shut up. God, I'm sorry. That irritates me so much. That'd be like me. That would be like me. That'd be like me, right? My 600 followers being like, "Oh, I didn't like Stranger Things season 4. I canceled my Netflix." They'd be like, "So who cares? Shut up. Talk to us about your bad hockey takes." And I
have many of those, man.
Oh, I got a ton of those. Percolating. Jordan Bennington, you stupid baby.
Oh, he blows.
I'm on mute. Jordan Bennington's a loser.
Oh,
you see that tweet I put out there?
Stupid.
Yeah, that was
baby.
the best. I was like sitting there. I'm like, wait a second. All I think about it was like Will Ferrell sitting on the couch going, "What a loser!" And I was just
he
like,
throws
I gotta
a fit all the time. Jordan Bennington probably
throws
tweets
a water bottle now.
He tweets when he doesn't like video games. He's one of the.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh, you have to subscribe from Game Pass because Halo Infinite wasn't finished. And then I throw a water bottle at Nazim Kadri and say it was a God-given opportunity.
Oh, what a bum.
I can't
So
believe he
yeah,
won a Stanley Cup.
I don't understand why people you know what? How about this? You want to say something? Say something like very nice. I tried an experiment once with social media on Twitter, and I know I told Pez at the time when I was doing this. So I did only positive tweets for a week. And guess what happened?
There were zero
It was
tweets.
like 1 or 2 people interacting every now and then.
Really?
Yeah. And if I put out so and so sucked, impressions go through the roof and everybody attract to it like flies. It was depressing.
Hmm.
And I was like, wow. And that was one of the reasons I was like, I'm done with Bruins Twitter. I'm like, they're literally want to be there. They'd rather people complain than anything else. Although that's all they want to be there for. So it's like, all right, whatever. So like what I do over in Carpool Gaming, every Friday I wish everybody a great weekend. I say good morning on the Twitter and stuff. And believe it or not, I get a lot of good replies.
Mhm.
I'm in shock. I really am. I'm in shock.
Bruins fans just like to be upset. That's why we're all so miserable.
You got that right.
Whatever, man. You don't play for the team. You just cheer for the team. Just get over it. There's a lot more things to get worried about in life. Like for me, my daughter's happy. She's sleeping right now. That's fantastic. My wife's happy downstairs because she doesn't have to be sitting beside me. It's all a good thing.
You said it. It's so nice. I love the self dig.
You know, I can be
Oh.
much sometimes.
That's okay. Can't we all?
Also, hey, to the listeners, we have a great show lined up. We got a very special interview next week. We also will have a second episode dropping with some Xbox news that I can't talk about right now. And also next week, I will be attending in person the Xbox Fan Fest event here in Toronto to simulcast their presentation. So we will have all of that coming up on Three Dads.
If you're going there, say hi to Court too.
Yeah, if you're from Canada and you are going, yeah, say hi. Gamer Graham, you're listening right now. I will see you. We will hug with shirts off.
Okay, what was
I don't
that
know
second?
I don't know how to follow that.
Pez, I know we're hanging out on Saturday, but I prefer to keep my shirt on
Shirts
because I
on.
think they have a dress code.
Shirts on, baby.
That's really funny. Gart, make sure you get pictures with all these awesome people that we get to interact with,
100%.
and tell them that the three of us collectively love them.
Yeah, I'm very excited to meet a lot of people that I've met in the video game community. It's very rare. Like Bruins Twitter, I got to meet some great people like Drew and all the guys at Beers and Bruins. I still haven't met Pez, but I have met his brother. We won't get back into that story again because it was supposed to be Pez, and it turned out to be same last name.
Pez too.
Electric Boogaloo.
It was a bit weird, but I'm very excited to meet a lot of the people that we have spoken to through this great little podcast we have here, and I can't say I can say it right now. I wouldn't have met any of them or known any of them without this podcast and you two goose. So it's going to be a huge opportunity and awesomeness that I get to go. Thanks to our friends over at Xbox Canada, I get to be a guest. It's going to be a great time. Gamer Graham's going to talk about how many trophies and achievements he has more than me, but I'm going to love every minute of it.
500,000
at an Xbox event.
Yeah.
Just start talking about them Chivos, and then you can bury him that way.
Oh, I can't. I don't have. You know what I can say? I'm gonna be like, yeah. So how many stubs and what cards you got, and then will be the show because I got you there.
Done.
Or what's your level in Division 2? It's the only thing I have. It's the only 2 games that I'm excelled at.
So far.
AKA grinded.
I'm excited to hear about all the news that comes out of the Xbox event.
Oh, and we also have a video dropping this week on our Three Dads YouTube channel. I did a recap of the Unwrap from Outright Games. So that will be dropping soon. They announced a bunch of huge games, and unfortunately, I would have talked about it last week, but I was not here for unforeseen circumstances. So we have a YouTube video dropping where I will give you a whole wrap up of all the amazing games that are coming out from our friends at Outright.
That was really cool, like what they did. Like, by the way, like what is it? They have a Trek game coming out.
Yeah, that
which
game.
I was like,
yes.
let's go.
Funny. Everybody is down for this Trek game. I think it'll be the first game where 3 dads all want to review it.
I think yeah, we should do a
Like
play.
Pez is just like I'm in.
I'm in.
It looked cool, and what is it? They
Uh,
have the crypto game
Super
too, the
Pets.
Super Dog.
Super Pets is in there as well.
Oh, by the way, the movie is coming out. Like, isn't it like The Rock and Kevin Hart for the
Yeah.
voices?
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I just saw the movie coming, and I'm like, oh, this will be fun to watch with my daughter. I didn't realize it would be the Great One and Kevin Hart once again.
How we roll, bro.
That's right. We have one more topic that we can probably just go over quickly. And that's
We
going to
do?
be the leaks.
Oh, leaks.
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 Coming from Sports Gamers. What is this source?
This is a terrible article that he chose. So there was a
It was
don't
the
need-
first one I found. I'm
that's fine.
sorry.
We don't need to read the article. That's fine.
No.
So just recently there was a presentation done where they were showing off new tech that is coming. And on the board, someone put down new consoles from Xbox and PlayStation. Specifically, it said PS5 Pro, and then it said Xbox Series X, like newer. It's funny when this got put out onto the internet. People lost their minds for some reason. First one was I don't even have a PS5 yet, or I don't even have an Xbox yet. I don't know what it is, man. Even in Canada, you can go to my Walmart right now. They got Xboxes. Best Buy had a PS5 sitting on the shelf the other day. You're just not trying hard enough. I'm gonna say it. You're not trying hard enough anymore because everybody seems to be able to get them now when they really want them. I understand there's shortages and all, but if maybe you don't understand economics or business, these things don't just like overnight be like, hey, here's a new console we're gonna put out. When they put out the first one, they knew they were putting out the second one. And when they did it the last time and we all paid for it, they knew they could do it again this time. The time frame seemed to say 2023. Due to chip shortages, I would say maybe, it could be November 2023 or it could be, March 2024. But they're coming. I don't know what else you can do right now because I don't think the TVs are good enough. Like it says 8K and like they showed some of the specs and I'm just like, I guess I don't know. Like my TV does 4K 120, but I know not everybody else's do. Like Waba just got a 4K for the first time ever.
Woo!
He's been rocking
Spicy.
He started playing NHL the other day and he was just like, this is not the same game.
It saw like a blur because it moved too fast. I had it. My eyes are now like adjusting to it where my players, it doesn't look like they have like a streak behind them. It was weird. It was the same when I upgraded, like when I finally got like HD like TV. Didn't it look like super realistic? Like they were in the room with you before like everything normalized?
Yeah, the very first game that I ever played in 1080, it was a 1080 iTV. I played Grand Theft Auto. What was it? 4? Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 4.
There's got to be a name for that phenomenon. Where like it looks hyper realistic, and I know I'm being hyperbolic, but like it does.
Oh no, there is a name for it. It's a soap opera effect.
That's so, dude.
What? It's like a thing. I didn't make
but
it
I know, but I'm happy you know it because otherwise you got someone in the car yelling at us.
The reason I buy a new TV guy every 2 years. That's me. I'm that guy. I'll sell my old one to like my parents or like my in-laws. I'll always sell the old one and buy a new one and spend that money. I don't know why. It's a bad addiction. My cousin who doesn't care and like watches on anything. Whenever he comes over to my house, he's always just like, dude, what the F? And that's how I've learned because he's always like, oh, I feel like I'm watching. Like my TV in my basement, I played MLB The Show on it the other day, and I usually play on my monitor up here in my office, and I played on the PS5, and I'm like, it was in 120 frames. It was like this. I had to learn how to hit again, if that makes any sense.
Wow.
I did. I had to learn. But when I play, if I'm going to play a first-party action-adventure game, I'm not going to play it on this little monitor here. I'll play a sports game all day long on this monitor. Not a chance. It's got to be downstairs. But Pez, my question to you is,
Yeet.
would you even buy a new console?
No. I didn't buy the second, I'm going to call them second generations. I didn't buy the second generations of the PS4. I didn't buy a Pro. I didn't need one. But for anyone, honestly, for anyone that believes that we're not going to get these type of consoles, you are ignorant. There, I'm going to say it. You're being ignorant.
It's a sharp word.
It is a sharp word, and I'm a sharp man, and these are sharp words. So they're being ignorant because if you have paid attention to the console generation, starting with the Xbox 360, there have always been mid-generation upgrades. So there was the Xbox 360, and then you got the 360 Elite, right? And then you got the PS4, and you got the PS4 Pro. And don't be surprised if towards the end of that generation, you get yourself a PS5 Slim, because that's what Sony does, right? PS2, we got a PS2 Slim, right? We didn't get a PS2 Pro because that really wasn't a thing. But this is nothing new. So, yeah, it might not be 2023, but if it comes out in, I would say, honestly, I would say probably November 2024, March 2025. PlayStation seems to love to come out in like the first quarter of the year. It's probably not their like fiscal quarter, but they seemingly love to release consoles the first quarter of the year.
October.
So,
It's always around my birthday. Always around my birthday.
is it? See, I feel like
My birthday's
all
October
right.
26th.
I was thinking
They
I was
literally
thinking of the
released
wrong
2 of their consoles on my birthday.
So
No
it would
What
not
you gonna ask for?
No, first quarter starts it starts in September. You're
their
fine.
their
Keep going.
financial first quarter.
Peace
Yeah.
skull.
September. That's just what
Uh,
I tell people about the Xbox thing. It's September on. Like it can happen anytime after September.
But I don't. Anyone that is surprised by that just either hasn't been paying attention or is willfully ignorant to think that
Yep.
Sony and Microsoft aren't going to try to milk you for everything you have.
Yeah, I just don't. I think this will be the first one where maybe for content I want to get one day one, but I don't see how. Like I've seen the demos for Unreal Engine 5. I played the if you haven't played the Matrix demo for on the Xbox, have you played it yet, Pez?
I have
It's
not
on
played
Game
it yet.
Pass. You can play the Unreal Engine Matrix demo, and you get to play Unreal Engine 5. Oh my god, it is unreal, and that's on the Xbox Series X. So what else are you gonna get out of it? Like I don't have load times. What more convenience are you gonna give me?
And that's the thing. You're not going to build.
Like, are we
You're
going
not
back
going
to
to.
load times?
You're not going to build a pro unless Sony is like, we're going to build this pro and it is going to keep up with PCs. Like that's not realistic that's not console gaming. Console gaming is not going to keep up with high-end PCs, and they're not going to build stuff to make it a high-end PC. So maybe you'll get marginal performance increases, but the developers aren't going to change how they develop games for a PS5 Pro. If anything, they're going to develop games for a PS5 and it will just up-res to 8K, right? Because that's what they did in the PS4 generation.
Well, but also
So-
too, the hardware upgrades was like important. Like PS2 was you get the Slim, so you don't need a external HDD to play online. It was just internal online capability. PS3, it was. I mean, you went non-compatible, like backwards compatible, but it was
Yep.
like because the machines would die.
But
It was
also,
like those things died. The fat PS3s, and then PS4. I don't remember what the purpose was.
but also, with the PS3, like they made that slimmer. They made the PS4 Pro. They made the PS4 Pro to give you, better looking visuals because, unfortunately, people will always be stuck on graphics. Thank you, Sega and Nintendo, for that because it's their fault for that. But so Sony will put out, Sony and Microsoft will put out these consoles, right? Like the Series X. It's gonna be something like the Series. It's gonna be called like the Series XX or something like that, or like the XY. It's gonna be something weird like that.
Xbox Series XL.
Ooh, I like that.
I feel like it's gonna be
Extra
I like that.
large in
like that.
charge.
I can't imagine the Xbox One being a not confusing title.
It's terrible.
Like Nana is gonna have a hard time.
I don't understand why they didn't just go with like Xbox. They just did an Xbox One, Xbox 2, Xbox 3, Xbox 4. It's very easy. Nope. X2. Think how amazing the branding would have been for these TVs, these
Easy.
fridges that we have here with an X2 on it. Like it would have been perfect. But nope.
Nope. Series XL.
Xbox Series X. That's why
Series
I say
X.
Series XL.
But then it'll be the Series SL, which I think is weird.
And then you're gonna get this.
No, okay, so I have a theory about the Series S. I think they've stopped manufacturing them.
Oh.
Is that the digital only?
Yes.
I think they have stopped manufacturing the Series S. I don't see them sitting on shelves as much as I used to everywhere. Out here in Canada, those S's were everywhere. You could still get them online, but I don't see them as much. Like the Walmart near my house, they're not there. And the reason why I think they've slowed manufacturing is because I think they're bringing they've said they're bringing out a dongle or a puck or whatever they want to call it. They're bringing out a small digital only that can hook up to your TV, right? That makes the S obsolete. In my mind, if you're bringing out another Xbox console, so we'll call it XL for now, then your X becomes your secondary console. That goes down $100. The XL is your big boy, and you have the dongle for your digital only people. There's no market for the S anymore.
That makes sense. Man,
You're cutting your overhead, right? It would be
when they come out with the XXX Xbox,
the Xbox Triple X. Ooh.
Whatever they
What's
call
it come with? Tassels?
Whole grease.
Say something.
Whole grease and shame.
You can only watch it if you go buy the curtains.
That's right.
It's
you
like
have to pump quarters.
Everything is a microtransaction on it.
Yeah, you have to pump quarters into it.
Does it vibrate?
Good stuff's behind the wall.
It might.
But once they come that might be the day Waba gets a Xbox. That day, it seems like it's coming soon. Whether it's the S or they're not.
You know what wasn't on that image was the new Nintendo console.
Because no one cares.
Oh, that's a lie.
I know.
What would they call the next Switch?
The Swatch.
They will call, honestly, they're a Japanese company. They will call it the Switch too. If it's a carbon copy of the Switch. I truly don't think there is a Switch 2 coming. I think they have an all new console coming.
Knowing Nintendo, knowing Nintendo, it'll be called the new Nintendo Switch. I'm not joking. I'm 100% serious.
Dude, Nana's is in shambles.
I mean, they did the 3DS, the 3DS XL, the new 3DS, the new 3DS XL. Like,
dude,
it would 100% be on brand to do the Nintendo Switch, the Nintendo Switch OLED, the Nintendo Switch Lite, and then the new Nintendo Switch.
I bought a game. It was new Super Mario
This one with raised sticks.
Yeah. It has sticks that last 3 months.
Oh, God. Well, that's 2 more than you had. But that's the rumors we got. Look out for your Xbox XL XXX combo. Or PlayStation 4U, whatever. That 4U? 5U.
4U.
It's 5 Pro. No, they put the name up there.
PS5 Pro.
PS5 Pro, baby.
PS5. Not to be confused with the PSP.
What a system.
What do we got? So that's gonna be it from us. That's all our topics. Anything else you guys want to close down with before we say goodbye?
No. Goodbye.
Yeah, no. Connor McDavid is the greatest player ever to live, and Austin Matthews not even close.
And Bergeron's a perfect individual.
Yeah.
If you are gonna see Anamanaguchi on Saturday, come hang out with Waba and I. Maybe buy us a drink.
You won't be able to miss Pez. He'll literally be higher.
I'll be towering above all those weebos. Like Godzilla.
Someone goes, "Is it a weeb concert?" I go, "No," and Pez goes, "Yes." I'm like, "That's weird." Like that seems like we would have the opposite opinion, but I'm very, very excited.
It's definitely one.
It's not.
It's.
I mean, yes. Okay. Yes. It's an anime girl on their poster.
I guarantee
there
will be people in costume there.
See, I don't know because so the event is specific to the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World's video game soundtrack.
Okay, you know what? I will bet you $100 that people will be in costume there.
Oh, take that bet. It's only $60 US.
No, I'm not going to take it because I guarantee we'll see at least 2 Ramona Flowerses.
And one of them is going to be Pez.
One of them's me. I'm going as Knives
Pez,
Chow.
wear that bunny costume with the baseball bat.
Ooh, I could. Actually, I don't know if the mask made it in the move or if we threw it away.
Oh my god, you'd scare everybody.
What a great Halloween costume that was.
I want to watch a concert, not watch you get arrested for menacing.
Well.
You know.
Oh,
Come to
well,
Canada.
anyway, if you want to see a bunny with a bat, you can find me and Pez. Just look for the giant bunny, and you'll find us. Again, folks, thank you very much for joining. If you want to watch this live, you could have seen all the funny things like Court finding me on his FYP for TikTok and showing me.
That's
can
such
watch
an old video.
Is that the DeBrusque one?
I gotta ask you how you edit. It was pretty good.
I didn't edit. I stopped filming and I moved my position like a dunce because I don't know how to optimize TikTok videos on the computer. I did it old school. But you can come check us out on youtube.com/3dadsandaconsole where we're live streaming these episodes. Come hang out. Come ask us questions. It'll be a good time. Also, please make sure to rate us on your podcast platform of choice, 5 stars or whatever the equivalent rating is. It helps us, and it's free to support us. Thank you all for your time and support. Like Court said, we've got a big week of content coming right
Seriously.
for you.
I got a lot of stuff to do. Jesus.
It's going to be a lot. So make sure to stay tuned. Check us out on all our socials. And yeah, we'll see you in the next piece of content. But we'll talk to you in the next episode.
We'll see you next time. Reading Rainbow.